Welcome to NUNTIUS, your daily AI tech intelligence briefing. I'm your host, and today is July 31st, 2026. We have a packed show for you today. Amazon just crossed a historic milestone that Wall Street didn't see coming. OpenAI fired the first shot in what could be the most consequential price war in AI history. Google's robots are learning to think as a team, and memory chips are now costing 6 times what they did a year ago, and it's hitting your next smartphone. Let's get into it. Story 1. Amazon shatters records with its first ever $200 billion quarter. Amazon reported second quarter revenue of $200.6 billion. The first time in company history it has crossed that threshold in a single quarter. That's a 20% jump from the same period last year. And the headline grabber? Amazon Web Services grew 37% year over year, its fastest clip in 18 quarters, bringing in $42.2 billion. AWS operating margins hit 39%. Let that sink in for a moment. EPS came in at $5.75, more than double what Wall Street analysts had penciled in. Operating income rose 43% to $27.5 billion. And Amazon's AI and chips divisions each crossed $25 billion in annualized revenue, both growing triple digits. This is no longer just a retail company. AWS is now running at a $169 billion annual run rate. That is the size of a Fortune 50 company inside another company. The takeaway here is simple. The AI infrastructure boom is real. It is enormous. And Amazon is capturing an outsized share of it. Rivals, particularly Google Cloud and Microsoft Azure, are going to need to answer this number. Story 2. OpenAI cuts GPT-5.6 prices by 80% to win the enterprise. This one is going to reshape the AI industry. On July 30th, OpenAI slashed the price of 2 of its GPT-5.6 tiers dramatically. The lowest cost model, GPT-5.6 Luna, dropped by 80%. Combined input and output token costs now sit at just $1.40 per million tokens. The mid-tier, Terra, fell roughly 20%. The flagship, Sol, stayed put at $5 and $30 per million tokens. Here's what makes this significant. GPT-5.6 Luna now undercuts Google's Gemini 3.5 Flash Lite and Gemini 3.6 Flash on price. OpenAI is clearly feeling pressure from Chinese AI developers and from Google, and is betting that being the cheapest capable model in the market will lock in enterprise adoption. The broader trend here is important. We are entering a commodity phase for AI inference. The models are good enough. Now it comes down to price, speed, and integration. This is exactly what happened with cloud computing. AWS, Azure, and Google spent years racing each other to the bottom on compute prices. AI inference is now entering that same race. Story 3. Google DeepMind releases Gemini Robotics ER2, and robots just got a brain upgrade. Google DeepMind dropped a significant announcement today with Gemini Robotics ER2, the ER standing for embodied reasoning. This isn't just another robot model. It's a planning and coordination layer that allows multiple robots to work together on complex tasks in shared physical spaces. Previous robotics AI was largely focused on single robot, single task scenarios, picking up an object, moving it from A to B. Gemini Robotics ER2 introduces what DeepMind calls whole body intelligence. Multiple humanoid robots can now reason about each other's positions, divide labor, and coordinate in real time. Think warehouse operations, hospital logistics, or elder care, tasks that require a team of agents, not a single machine. This matters because humanoid robots from companies like Figure, Agility Robotics, and 1X are already in early commercial deployments. The missing piece has been the AI brain to make them truly autonomous in messy, real-world environments. DeepMind just put that piece on the table. Story 4. RAM prices have sextupled, and your next phone is going to cost more because of it. This one hits consumers directly. The cost of 1 gigabyte of RAM has risen from approximately $2.80 in 2025 to $12 in 2026, a 6-fold increase. The culprit? AI data centers consuming extraordinary amounts of high bandwidth memory, redirecting chip fab capacity away from standard DRAM that goes into phones and laptops. Google confirmed this week that the entire Pixel 11 lineup will carry higher price tags, explicitly citing unprecedented memory cost increases. Samsung, Apple, and every other OEM is facing the same math. Supply of consumer-grade memory is constrained because every AI company on the planet is hoarding HBM, high bandwidth memory, to power GPU clusters. The takeaway: the AI infrastructure build-out has collateral damage. When billions of dollars of chip capacity get redirected toward data centers, the consumer electronics market feels the squeeze. Expect the upcoming wave of flagship phones, Pixel 11, Galaxy S27, and whatever Apple announces in September, to cost meaningfully more than their predecessors. Story 5. Meta's revenue surges, but profits drop as AI spending balloons. Meta reported a strong top line in Q2, $60.8 billion in revenue, up 28% year over year. But net income fell 14% to $15.85 billion. Legal costs, severance from restructuring, and surging AI research, spending all weighed on margins. Meta is in a fascinating position right now. Its ad business is performing exceptionally well. AI-enhanced targeting continues to deliver strong ROI for advertisers. But the company is also spending aggressively on its AI infrastructure, its Llama open source model series, and its Reality Labs division, which continues to burn cash on VR and AR hardware. The question investors are asking is whether Meta's AI bets will pay off in revenue, or whether the company is burning shareholder capital building infrastructure that benefits the broader ecosystem more than Meta itself. The next 12 months will be telling. Story 6. Global AI regulation accelerates. 30+ US bills and the EU's AI Act now live. Regulation is no longer a future concern for AI companies. It is the present. The European Union's AI Act has entered its critical enforcement phase, with obligations for general-purpose AI systems and high-risk applications now fully in force. Companies operating in Europe must comply or face penalties reaching up to 35 million euros or 7% of global revenue. In the United States, more than 30 AI-related bills are active and moving in California alone. Michigan, Ohio, Massachusetts, and North Carolina are all advancing their own legislation. At the federal level, the conversation continues, though a unified framework remains elusive. The regulatory environment is bifurcating. Europe is moving fast with hard rules. The US is developing a patchwork of state laws. And in Asia, countries like China and Singapore are taking their own distinct approaches. For any company deploying frontier AI, whether that's a startup or a hyperscaler, navigating this landscape is now a core operational requirement, not an afterthought. And that brings us to the close of today's NUNTIUS briefing. Let's take stock of what we covered. Amazon crossed $200 billion in quarterly revenue for the first time, powered by AWS's AI boom. OpenAI fired the opening shot in an AI price war by slashing GPT-5.6 Luna costs 80%. Google DeepMind gave robots the ability to think and coordinate as teams. RAM prices have sextupled. Your next phone will cost more because of it. Meta's revenue grew 28%, but profits fell as AI spending surged. And global AI regulation is no longer theoretical. It's enforcement time. As always, I'm curious, which of these stories hits closest to home for you? Drop a comment below and let me know. If you found today's briefing valuable, subscribe and hit the bell. We do this every day so you never miss a beat on what's shaping the tech and finance landscape. This is NUNTIUS, AI Tech Intelligence. See you tomorrow.